sea commands eternal winds to our journey who've fallen to those who rise, a prayer to keep us ever by your side, an undying promise that we just might carry on in a song. Pray don't forget us, your bygone kin, with one world's end as a new begin. And should our souls scatter unto the wind, still we shall live on. Stand tall.
Hear me now? Hello, hello? Ah! Still no audio. Hello? Ah, okay, got it. Excellent, excellent. Okay, oh my god. I'm... That's so embarrassing. Well. That is... Alright, well, I will, after the raid, explain the... we'll look at that again. Oh well. Well, this is a... what do you call it? A, learning experience. Turn that off. I don't want any echo here. There we go. So, yes, close that. How do you close this? Alright, so the audio is back. But, I've been doing this for 45 minutes with no sound. Oh my god. Alright guys, well I might have to run the raid for you next week. Basically the whole time I was going... I was really kind of going for the whole... oh well. I'm really sad now. But, no use crying over spilt milk. So let's just go ahead and grab the audio here. And, okay, so this is the last boss of this raid. Alright. I'm not using red attacks. So this is the last boss of the raid. It's this orb of android bodies. You can't really because I skip. I'm gonna be out of here! Okay. Alright. And I had a terrible run because I totally killed... yeah, we talked about it. Uh-oh. Okay, so I want to be in the open areas here and here because the laser is going to go flying through and cutting through everything. So I should be good here. Boom, boom. Be perfectly safe. So... recap. Actually, I might just edit this audio and just come into the part where I might just edit this video and just come into the part where I came with the audio. So, okay, so basically, here's what's been happening. I spent quite a while going through the entire summoner class and going through how they work. You guys obviously did not hear that. Then I entered the raid. You guys did not hear that either. And then I completely, or at least nearly wiped Alliance C. And when I say I mean me. It was 100% my own fault. Nobody else was involved. Because I was distracted and I'm not great at multitasking. Yeah, so I completely wiped one of our alliances. And that is about it. And then after that, I realized that my audio was not working. And I found out why. The reason my audio was not working was because I have not pressed the microphone all the way in. It was most of the way in to the point where it registered as, yes, you have a microphone. But it was not pushed in far enough where it was like, yes, you have sound. So that's an odd thing. So anyway, if you watched our podcast yesterday, Middle Age Gaming 2020, or just Middle Age Gaming, then you probably saw that we reviewed headsets, and one of the benefits of mine is the detachable mic. Well, guess what? That is not a benefit, because it is very easy for people such as myself to screw this up. Alright. Okay, so basically, let me walk you through. I'm going to walk you through all the stuff I talked about beforehand after this raid again, so that way I can just cut out the initial part, edit it, and then you guys don't have to worry about watching me in silence for 40 minutes. which is actually probably a good idea because, as I said earlier, which you couldn't hear me, but please do not use this as a raid guide. I am doing everything wrong. Everything wrong. It's a miracle that I'm not dying more than I am. I am a terrible multitasker. Run away, run away, run away, run away. Okay. For instance, I was not paying attention to what she was doing, so I was not moving away from her attack until I noticed that everybody else was running away. And then seeing everybody else run away made me realize that I need to run away too. Okay, so what she's doing right now is an attack called a Prime Blade, and what happens is she has 3 stances. The first stance, where she's kind of down and holding the sword to her side like that, she's going to do a swing around, and she's going to do an attack that damages everybody within a certain range of her. If she's holding it over her head, like she is... if she holds it over her head, like this, she's going to do an attack that does a straight line ahead of her, and if she does the thing where she kind of stands, you know, with it to her side there, what she's going to be doing is an attack where it's going to be doing an outer ring attack, so you want to stay close. Okay. And what you might have noticed on this last time, where there were some rings on the ground, those rings basically mean that she is going to teleport to a location, and when she does teleport to that location, you're going to want to be there or not be there, because you have to pay attention to whatever attack she's going to be doing next, because she's going to do it from that location. So, now we have pods. Yeah, apparently the problem is that the microphone was pushed in enough that the headphones recognized that there was a mic, but not pushed in so far as to actually register the mic. So I thought it was in. It told me it was in. It was not in. So yeah, that was my fault. I should have checked my headphones a little bit earlier, but I did not. So, but this is only my second live stream ever, so you live, you learn, right? And we are going to be doing much better with each successive stream. So, if you're enjoying the music right now, this music is a combination of Nier Automata and Final Fantasy XIV. So, okay, so she's going to do a Prime Blade. We're going to want to stand next to her, and we're going to see that all of our clones here are going to do the same attack, so we're going to stand here in the middle, or run over to this way, because apparently that's where everybody else is going. Ah, yes, standing in the middle was a bad idea. I'm sorry. Her range does reach the middle, but it does not reach the other clones, so we had to pick one clone and go for it. Alright, now we're going to want to stand in these rings. Something's going to fall from the sky. Somebody needs to catch it. If somebody doesn't catch it, it's going to do damage to the whole group. So, we caught it there. Okay. And... yes. Okay, so if you look at the circles, you can see there's like a little, like, wah, wah, wah. That means whatever is there is going to teleport to that location. Alright, so you have to pay attention to where the little prime things are going. Alright. Somebody's using a limit break already, which kind of surprises me. This is kind of early to be using one. But alright. Thankfully, no pros are watching this, because, as you can see, I keep spamming and resetting my DOTs before they expire, which is a very inefficient use of a DOT. As I explained earlier, a DOT is damage over time, but of course nobody could have heard that, so... wait, why? Ah! I don't have my summon out! Okay. That was not a good thing. Okay. She's gonna do the line attack. So... boom! Don't be standing in front of that. That would be bad. Summon Bahamut. My giant dragon buddy. Alright. Ah! I'm not targeting her anymore. Okay. Alright, so after this raid, I'll go through all my abilities again. As I said, like... alright. So now, see, she did that sweep attack. Now all the clones are going to do it. So we don't want to be anywhere near a clone. This is going to be the furthest from all clones. Okay. And now I am going to focus on Phoenix. You can't see it right there. Mine is the giant bird. Stand on this guy, help him out here, take some of that damage off of him. Okay. Oh. No. Don't push me into the bed. Okay. Wrong attack. All right. Okay. And boom. All right. We did it. We finished the raid. As I said, I will edit the video so you will be cut out of sync. So here's the part where we can go through and we can give other people recommendations for what a great job they've done. Now, normally, if I was a healer, I would always do it for the tank. If I was a tank, I would always do it for healer. But as DPS, I always give it to other DPS because I feel like they don't get enough love. So I'm just going to pick one random person here because I wasn't really paying attention to how that should be. And I highly doubt that I will be getting any recommendations because I did wipe an entire other alliance. So, in all honesty, that's actually kind of amazing. It's also really awful. So, embarrassing. Okay. Now, these cards here are for a game called Triple Triad. I've never won one. I really want to, but I never have. I didn't win anything. I got nothing, which is actually okay because I got something earlier on. Okay, so let's see if anybody else mentions my failure. Ah, good. Nobody's chatting about how I have failed miserably, which is wonderful. Great. Okay, so now I can run off. Thankfully, nobody will ever remember my name. So I can just exit here. And as you can see, nobody else was paying attention because I got 2 commendations. Or maybe they just hated Party C and they really, really thought it was funny that I destroyed them utterly. That's right, I am a curse to my own allies. Alright, so I'm going to go back in my house here because it's raining. I actually like the rain, but also the music's kind of groovy. But we have groovy music indoors too. There we go, see? Alright, so at the very beginning of the stream, I was going through the Summoner class because that's what I'm playing. So let me go ahead and go through the Summoner class for you. So the Summoner class is a pet class. You can see my pet over here. This is my FFXIV. I have 2 other Eggies. I have the Garuda Eggie. Alright, the Garuda Eggie is ranged and AoE based. And I have the Titan Eggie. The Titan Eggie is my tanking Eggie. I can use it for solo content, and it will really make me more survivable. But it's not very useful for group content because I have actual tanks to tank for me. And then I was using the Ifrit Eggie, which is the melee Eggie and does the most direct damage to a single target enemy. And so because of that, that was the most useful for me for a raid, which is why I did that. So the Summoner is primarily based off of their DOTs. That's where the majority of my damage is going to be coming from. So my DOTs are Miasma 3 and Bio 3, okay? I can also use this attack here, Tri-Disaster, which will apply both simultaneously. It used to give me a buff where my Ruin would become more powerful for about 10 seconds. Now it's dead. It seems to do a direct damage with a potency of 150, so it's not a very strong attack. As you can see here, my Ruin 3 does 200. Actually, that's not bad. Yeah, so it's slightly weaker than Ruin 2. So those are my DOTs. I also have this attack here, Bane, which will spread my DOTs across all enemies that I have in a certain vicinity. My AoEs are this attack here, Outburst, which will do AoE, so it'll affect a large group of enemies. Pain Flare over here is also an AoE. However, Pain Flare does not use my mana or MP. Pain Flare will use these charges here, called Aether charges, or Aether. So it will use these, which I can generate using Energy Drain or Energy Siphon. Energy Drain will target one enemy, do some damage, give me those Aether stacks. Energy Siphon will damage multiple enemies, give me those Aether stacks. I can also use those Aether stacks for this ability here, Fester, which if I have Bio and Miasma applied, it will do even more damage. So it does 100 on its own, and it will do 200 if Miasma or Bio is on the enemy, and it will do 300 if both are on the enemy. So that is a very strong attack if I have both my DOTs applied. I also have my pet abilities. Okay, so these are abilities that will cause my pet to do something. They will change depending on which pet I have out. So for Ifrit, they are Crimson Cyclone, which is direct damage, and Flaming Crush, which is an AoE, so it'll do damage to multiple enemies. I also have Enkindle Inferno, which is kind of his ultimate ability, has a long cooldown. You can see here the recast is 120, which means it's 2 minutes long, but it does 300 and it does a damage over time, so that'll add another DOT. And then I have Aether Pact, which will give a damage bonus to all the people in my group for a set period of time. And then over here I have Worm Trance. Worm Trance is going to allow it so that my Ruin 3 has no cast time. I'll get back into that. And then Death Flare, which will end my Dreadworm Trance, but it will do a big attack. And then of course I can summon Bahamut. Bahamut's the big dragon. Enkindle Bahamut is kind of like Enkindle Ifrit here, where it will do a very strong attack. Otherwise, Bahamut will just auto-attack anytime I attack. And then these work in a cycle. So what will happen is I'll use Dreadworm Trance. When I'm in Dreadworm Trance, I can cast Death Flare. After Dreadworm Trance is ended, I can summon Bahamut. When summon Bahamut, he will be around for, I think, around 12 seconds, 15 seconds? How long does he say? 20 seconds. Okay, so he'll be sticking around for about 20 seconds. After 20 seconds, he'll disappear. He'll go on cooldown, and then Dreadworm Trance will change to Firebird Trance, at which point, when I activate that, it will summon Phoenix, and then I can enkindle Phoenix, which will do a super attack with Phoenix. This is a bad design. Okay. I will say right away, because Dreadworm Trance, when I activate it, I cannot use Death Flare unless I am already in Dreadworm Trance. I cannot summon Bahamut until Dreadworm Trance is finished. I cannot enkindle Bahamut unless the Bahamut is out, and I cannot go into Firebird Trance unless Bahamut is over. So, because of that, basically you could have just made these all one button. I mean, it's simple as that. You could have had Dreadworm Trance, boom, and as soon as I click Dreadworm Trance, it turns into Death Flare. And then once I hit Death Flare, it turns into Summon Bahamut. And once I summon Bahamut, it turns into Enkindle Bahamut. And once it turns into Enkindle Bahamut, once Bahamut's over, it just changes to Summon Phoenix. And once Summon Phoenix is over, it changes into Enkindle Behemoth, Phoenix. You could all make these just one button. And in fact, if I come over here to my user macros... Oh, I deleted it. I used to have a macro for it that I made, but yeah, I made a macro where I really just could press one button and it would do all of it. So I could just hit the one button over and over and over again. So that is a terrible design. I do not know why they did that, but they did, and yeah. Okay, so that's how a summoner works. The only other thing is, as I said, when I am in Dreadworm Trance, it reduces the cooldown, reduces the charging time on Ruin 3. So if we look at Ruin 3, you can see the cast is 2.39. That means when I hit it, my character will get a little casting bar, ding, and when it's done, it'll cast the attack. Ruin 2, so you can see this does 200 potency, this is 160 potency. So Ruin 2 is weaker. It also costs 400 MP as opposed to 200 MP. So why is the weaker attack worth more MP? Well, the reason for that is because this is an instant cast, which means that I can be running around and casting it all the time. And, you know, cast. Whereas with Ruin 3, I have to stop, cast, run, stop, cast, and I can only cast it while I'm standing still. So if there is a lot going on and I need to move out of the way of something, Ruin 3 is not a good option. Ruin 3 is going to get me out of it. However, when I have Dreadworm Trance up, Ruin 3 is now instant cast, so I can just use that ability, and there is no reason to use Ruin 2. Also, whenever I use these two Eggy attacks, so these are the attacks of my pet, it will give me a charge of Ruin 4. I can hold up the 4 stacks of Ruin 4. Ruin 4 will transform my Ruin 2 into Ruin 4, which I don't remember how much damage it does, Ruin 4 here. So Ruin 4 is going to do 300 damage as opposed to Ruin 2. Or Ruin 3 does 200. So Ruin 4 is going to be the strongest attack. It is also instant. However, I can only do it when I have a set number of stacks that I can use it. Okay, so that was the back half of the raid that you could hear. I'm probably going to go through, edit the first part of the video out. These are my cats, once again. I brought them in. I spent a whole spiel at the very beginning of this explaining why I have my cats here. That is because the internet has taught me two things. One, it's used for Rule 34. The other thing the internet is used for is cats. And so because of that, I thought I would take advantage of the fact that I have 4. So let me reintroduce my cats to you because they were not introduced early on. This cat is Blanca. She is our oldest cat. Okay, she's about 5 years old. She is the queen of the house, or at least so she likes to think so. She's also quite grouchy. We have another cat. I think you can't see her right now. She's sleeping up there. This is our kind of cat playroom. Okay, they can jump around, hop up there, climb up there. You probably saw her earlier, but up there is sleeping. That's Luna. She is the other female. We have 2 females, 2 males. Luna is the younger female, and she is the Snow White to Blanca's evil queen. So they do not get along. When she was a little baby, Blanca wasn't too fond of her, but she tolerated her. Now that Luna's older, they do not get along at all. That is where Blanca likes to sleep, and ever since she grew up, now Luna likes to occupy that space. Blanca likes to also sleep here. Luna will sleep here sometimes, so she basically is trying to assert her dominance. So they don't get along very well. That is why Blanca is wearing this cat collar here. This cat collar has cat pheromones on it, so that keeps her calm. And Luna has one as well to keep her calm, and that's to keep them from fighting. It doesn't work very well. All right. We also have Yoda. He's down here. We can take a look at him. Yoda, you want to come up for a second, buddy? You come up here. See if we can get Yoda up here. Come on, buddy. Come here. All right. There we go. This is my boy Yoda. All right. Okay. We got him because when we originally got Blanca, she had a brother. She was super dedicated to her brother. She loved him. She would spend all her time with him. And she just couldn't be separated from him. So when he died, we felt very bad. We wanted to get her a friend. So we got Yoda here. All right. And she kind of tolerates Yoda. They kind of get along. She's the only one she really likes. We have a gate on the door because sometimes we have to separate the cats when we're not home. Yoda is the only cat who is allowed to be on both sides of the gate. Blanca needs to be separated from the younger 2. But Yoda gets along with everybody. He's a good boy. And yeah, so he's allowed to go wherever he wants. And he's also, if you notice, the only cat who does not wear a collar because he's actually really chill. If you've ever seen Courage the Cowardly Dog, then you know exactly his personality. He is a complete and utter coward, and he is afraid of everything. And then the 4th cat, okay, so that's Blanca, Yoda, Luna, and then we have Java. Java, come here. Come on, Java, come on. He is not coming right now, but he is actually our friendliest cat if you ever come to visit. He would be the one that would be rubbing himself up against you and trying to make friends immediately. So let's go look at Java real quick. Come here, buddy. All right. So here's Java. And he's the friendliest cat we got. All right. So he's a real buddy. All right. Java, you want to say hi? Look at everybody. All right, he's sleepy right now. He was half asleep, so I just woke him up. All right. Oh, but now he likes to chew on my wires, so he is also a troublemaker. He's the biggest troublemaker, and he's the most friendly. All right, so you've been introduced to 3 of the cats. The 4th one is sleeping. I will not wake her up just yet, but maybe next time you'll get to see them. Okay, so I hope everybody enjoyed today's stream. I'm very sorry for the audio issue that went for the first half of it. And by first half, I mean first 45 minutes, which was the first 3/4. So let me be more specific there. The first 3/4 of it. Okay, well, I'm going to sign off. And I hope to see you all soon. And hopefully we will be able to have a slightly better time with the audio. All right. Well, see you all later. Have a lovely day. Once I turn this off. I'm still learning this. I'm sorry. Okay, let's see. And I'm so bad at this. So very bad at this. I found the button. All right. See you guys later.